Okay, guys, today we have Vincent Norman up to bat. Great guy to interview, man. He's part of the Marijuana Hall of Fame. He's a U.S. Marine veteran and a cannabis entrepreneur. We're going to be discussing Chicago's cannabis scene, a little bit about Black Lives Matter, and getting black and brown people involved in that particular cannabis industry. Come on, guys, let's go. Tell you, I am happy as all ever to have one of Chicago's, Chi-Town's finest in the cannabis industry, Vincent Norman. How you doing there, V?
I'm doing great, man. How's everything going?
Man, everything is awesome. Everything is great. You know, you and I we are on the goal to help Chicago and help Illinois continue to be recognized as one of the up and coming cannabis capitals of the United States, if not the world.
That's right. That's right. Man, it's needed,
So,
man. More minorities are needed in this field, man, in this industry.
oh
So,
man, tell me about it.
that's what we're here for.
With the current times that I think that we're in right now more than ever, the cannabis industry is at a high level. It has a really big spotlight right now, and it's really helping the economy during this COVID-19 issue. And I think that you're right, Vincent. Right now, as people of color needs to get more involved in the industry, but we also need to be allowed more into the industry. 100%.
That's right. That's right. You know, um,
Tell,
I've read an article the other day just talking about, with Black Lives Matter and systemic racism and all those different things that's going on. Everybody's trying to figure out, how to engage with African Americans and stuff like that. And it's just simple, treat us like you treat everybody else. Treat us like you treat them, like you treat yourself.
pretty much.
It's not no magic wand or anything like that. Everybody's human, level the playing field and just, hire the people, to do the best job, the people that can do the job. It's that simple
Yep.
for
And
me.
I think it's also recognizing on an equal playing field, we understand business. We're not just people of color are not just weed smokers or those that get in trouble because you have it illegally. We're actual business minded individuals that understand how to grow something from a cultivation perspective all the way to a dispensary if given that opportunity.
Right. Definitely. Definitely. That's what I see. So, man, it's like these platforms here, to get out, and get the word out, talk to the community, encourage others, to get in the field, and also the establishments, the corporations, the culture itself. Like you said, we know how to take it from A to Z. So allow us to do that, allow opportunities, and make it work.
Absolutely. And for this podcast right here, to make it a little informal, I want the audience to get to know Vincent a little bit more, from a non-business perspective and just understand who Vincent is as a person and how he got himself into this particular cannabis industry. So I just want to ask you a couple questions just so everyone can learn a little bit more about you. Starting off, I want to ask, how is cannabis in your household? Where'd you grow up at, Vincent? Like, were you born and raised in
Man,
Chicago?
I grew up here in Chicago, in Inglewood, and everything. 12 siblings, youngest of the 12, and we grew up on 70th and Bishop. Then the neighborhood was kind of changing and everything like that. So my parents moved us to Arkansas. So I moved down there in the sixth grade, graduated there, went to college there, joined the Marine Corps there, came back into Chicago in '93. But since that time, just been traveling the world. I had a chance to explore, the military for 6 years, the Marine Corps. Just went to University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, historical black college, and
Mhm.
just had a history of a lot of awards, a lot of positive experience, in the as a African American, and not only in the United States but abroad too. China, the chance to go to Australia, different other Philippines, different places, Japan. So got a broad range of experience of how people in different cultures interact.
Well, first off, my brother, I want to say semper fi to you and enough
Right, right.
respect for you
Right,
taking the initiative to want to be one of those to help protect our country.
right.
I respect that totally. I just as a sidebar, I actually went to military school as far as high school goes, and
Okay,
I went to Marine Military Academy in Harlingen, Texas. I didn't make it to actual formal military, but that military school training really did me good on a discipline level. So always got
right.
respect for those who went through that military training.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
How was
A lot of
how was
respect.
cannabis how was cannabis talked about in your household? Was it something that was a free spirited thing, or was it pretty much the stereotypical household
You,
that's an off limit conversation?
I mean, it was taught in our household basically. Um, you know, it wasn't, uh, it wasn't so much frowned upon, but it was like, hey, listen, if you could be responsible with it, we okay with it, but it wasn't encouraged at all. My mother and father, they wasn't smokers, and they didn't even smoke cigarettes. We grew up in the church, but my parents understood independence, and they allowed us to grow, and make decisions, and wherever that decision fall at, they either pick us up or push us along. So
Got you. Well, I will say, Vincent, you had a step above me because growing up in my Afro Latino family in Brooklyn, New York, smoking weed was a carnal sin. That
right,
was
right,
you looked upon as a devil's child if you got caught smelling like weed in my household. So it was something that was one of those secretive things and didn't talk about it and created and almost used as a mischievous kind of drug instead of something that could be a help.
right. I get you. I get you. It
And
was kind of like,
how'd you get involved in the cannabis space from as far as going from using it from a recreational perspective to realizing this is a business you want to be in?
I got involved as far as the CBD side, because of football injuries and stuff like that. It was able to kind of like help me recover, um, get relief, from pain and stuff like that. And then just
Mhm.
crossing over from that, I was already, a social smoker. Not heavy, but I mean, I enjoyed cannabis. Just whenever I wanted to. So it was a combination of both of those things that kind of had me drawing me more into the medical side. So the medical
Mhm.
side, I just kind of got involved with just finding out the healing of the cannabis plant and the different applications. And then from there, when JB announced that he's running for governor, and his platform was going to be making marijuana
Cannabis.
recreational legal. So I campaigned for him, in that aspect. So um, I've been in roughly probably like as far as an advocate, and then really involved for about 7, 8 years.
Got you.
But I've
Got
been
you.
a smoker since
Congratulations.
13.
Ditto. Ditto.
Right.
Let me ask you, man. Speaking of Chicago, how was Chicago's cannabis culture? How is it unique? How is it different from, let's say, California, Colorado, and other growing cannabis capitals?
I think maybe the uniqueness is, I mean, the Chicago, and Chicago has come somewhat that secrecy as far as in the marijuana space. I'm more apt to sometimes call it marijuana because I'm the, founder of the Marijuana Hall of Fame. So
Mhm.
I believe in bringing the most popularized word to the forefront versus cannabis is more softly spoken. But you know, in Nevada, California, it's a very secretive society as far as recreational marijuana and the dispensaries and stuff like that. The cultivating centers, they hold it real tight, to their chest. Don't want to let out a lot of information. And
Mhm.
some of the reasons I understand why, because it's still not federally legal.
Yeah.
So at any given time, you make the wrong move and you can find yourself in trouble federally.
Mhm.
But in Chicago, the uniqueness is that for years, we had a lot of supporters here in the city. for recreational marijuana. We just couldn't get it passed with a lot of the, whatever that was going on.
Yeah.
Now, I think the community is really embracing it. And so there are some skepticals, some people are still afraid, uh, and still don't even recognize that, it's legal now,
Yeah.
and so they're trying to, and that they're trying to kind of embrace it, but then they also a little bit skeptical because of the still people are getting locked up, incarcerated, and so that is still out there as far as the cautionary for it. So I think that once we get the licensing, more minorities get the licensing, opening up dispensaries here, and able to have cultivating centers here in Illinois, the state, um, the surrounding areas of Chicago, and the community starts to see that, that's going to really give people a lot more comfortability with the industry itself, marijuana
Mhm.
itself, and people will be able to kind of understand that it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere, and we're
Right.
just a few years or the right administration from being legally federally. Okay.
Vincent, I seen the same kind of mindset that took place in the drug recovery industry. I'd say maybe about like 15 years ago, the drug recovery industry, as far as recovering individuals that are on substance abuse and mental health issues they're facing, it was a rise in trying to help them and opening up treatment centers in neighborhoods. And it was a high stigma on opening these treatment centers in neighborhoods because people felt as if it's going to be crazy individuals in my neighborhood or drug addicts in my neighborhood. But after a while, they had to realize and release that stigma because you saw that so many people were getting help over the years. I think right now we face that same stigma with cannabis. A lot of individuals in Chicago and beyond. But I think as time goes on, we're going to grow past that stigma and continue to grow this industry properly.
Definitely. One of the things that, like you're saying, is just think about it. You walk outdoors, a few blocks away,
Mhm.
and there's a recreational dispensary right there where you can actually go in and purchase marijuana, um, CBD,
Mhm.
just like you do at any local grocery store. There are compliances and restrictions, of course, on the amount that you can purchase and et cetera. But you can legally, with your ID and being 21 plus, you can legally walk in and pick out the strands you want and
Mhm.
the terpenes or, the vapes, and actually buy and purchase marijuana, which has THC product legally. And,
Now, Vince,
that's gonna be a good thing.
even a little more direct, let me ask you what I've noticed in California, Colorado, upcoming states like Michigan, they don't seem to have the mindset of growing the equity programs like the way they're trying to do it in Illinois. What makes Illinois' social equity program so much different and just so much more aggressive, should I say, in a positive way than other states?
Well, the thing about it is, as part of the bill being passed, there was, of course, part of the rules and regulation that the social equity component was going to be a part of the whole transformation recreational. Now, that being said, I don't think Illinois has done a great job in embracing social equity and in really embracing and empowering minorities to be active right now, right? Here it is. We're in the month of July, and still there haven't been a license, not one license issued to minorities, and we're like in the 7th month, and that was supposed to take place May 1st. So, yeah, we have a uniqueness as far as the bill being passed and as far as they're being aggressive with the social equity, and we know that is part of the the agenda, and it's going to
Mhm.
happen. Eventually. It should just be sooner. And now I'm seeing where like Wanda James in Colorado, they're looking at the program, social equity program. And I think they're doing an initiative, and it'd be sad that if they jump ahead of us and and license a few more minorities in the state of Colorado, and still we're waiting in the wing. So
Yeah.
um, because that wasn't the initial run, So even though it's unique and it's definitely part of the bill, I
Mhm.
think that the fact that these delays have been occurring, raise the eyebrow. Are we really trying to move towards social equity, or is this just part of something that we're talking about to get people excited? Yet and still,
Nothing
the white
happens.
establishment is eating real well off about $150 million probably to date of cannabis being sold in the state of Illinois. So
And we seem
that's
to
we
hear
got some
things.
work to do.
We seem to hear excuses like, COVID-19 is an issue for holding things up. What do you feel about that being the main issue? Or do you feel as if there's a lot of other bureaucratic type issues that's in the way besides COVID-19?
Oh, definitely. I don't think COVID-19 plays a part at all. People might, they could say that, but at the end of the day, I think that this is just another way of kind of pleasing the already established dispensaries that went through, maybe 3 or 4 years of, just dealing with medical patients
Mm-hmm.
and might not seeing the revenue that they wanted to see. And so this is a makeup. And, if they would just come out and be honest about it and say, listen, these guys are, they had licenses for the last 7 years in the serving the medical community. And maybe they was breaking even or making just a little bit, not as much as they thought. And so we want to give them a chance to, because they, kind of carried the torch in the initial
Mm-hmm.
stages. We want to give them 6 months, of revenue from recreational. We want to give them,
But be
a
transparent
year.
about
Just be transparent, right? Because that's what's happening, bro. Be honest and plain and simple. James, is that this is something that I know Cresco Lab CEO was trying to push, get a year, 6 months, a year head start in the
it.
on the recreational side. And so again, let's cut the BS, let's be transparent, let's be real with it, and issue these license, and let's let minorities get into the cannabis space and not let these guys get too far ahead where, now we don't even know if we have the right location because they're taking up all the space. So, we're getting mess around, getting in places where, not really as receptive as it should be for African Americans. You
Got
know.
you. This brings me to a good question, Vincent. What is, as a whole, not just Chicago and Illinois, but as a whole, what does racial justice actually look like in the cannabis industry, in your opinion?
And right now, it looks like zero from and
Zero.
I say that because I'm hearing a lot of complaints, with you know people that's in the industry, that's working in the industry, bud tenders, craft growers. Then they feel like, even though, and I'm talking about minorities, even though they're in the industry, um, you know, they're being harassed. They're not, getting the proper medical benefits. They're not getting the proper, um, receptive as far as being an employee for these,
Mhm.
corporations. And so there's a lot of, bad data out there as far as the employees are concerned. So I think that's the issue. I think it's definitely something needs to be addressed. And I just say, to the GTIs, the Cresco Labs, and some of the corporations out there, set your policies right. Reset,
Yeah.
do the right thing. Treat your employees with respect. Treat the cannabis industry, the marijuana industry, with respect. Respect the culture, and I think you'll be successful in this industry. You continue to get a D, a C grade, and eventually, people are not going to support your dispensaries. People are not going to support your brand, and it's going to be detrimental. So, not giving them any tips, but conduct yourself, do good business. you know,
Do
and
good
do good
business.
business across the board.
Now, Vincent, let me ask you, man. Speaking of business, speaking of brands, couple last questions for you here. You got companies like Bratz, Nickelodeon, Bon Appetit. You know, ever since Black Lives Matter has begun to rise as far as their demonstrations and protests, you know, companies like that have felt obligated, it seems like, to actually show their support. What do you think, in your opinion, companies and brands, big box brands' responsibilities, even brands beyond the cannabis industry like Nickelodeon and Bratz, what do you think their responsibilities should be to actually support and speak out for Black lives?
You know, I mean, I don't even want to see like, you know, the thing as far as Black Lives Matter with these brands. I want to see actions. I want to see, you know, press releases where you're hiring people of color, you know, in positions, you know, higher executive positions, positions that drive the culture and in your brand in the direction that it should be going. So, you know, when it come down to just saying Black Lives Matters, posting it up online, the dog and pony show, you know, you could diss me with that. You know, let's talk about you know, issues where you're starting to recognize African Americans, minority owned, you know, talent, minority owned businesses, getting
Mhm.
behind them, getting behind um, entrepreneurs, partnering up with organizations of color, you know, and really doing the work. And then, like I said again, if you are, like, for an example, Nike was like Black Lives Matter, and their whole executive, you know, team is white.
Come on now.
Their whole executive team is white. So where's the people of color? You mean
Yeah.
tell me you can even slide Michael Jordan on the board?
I mean, come on.
That might not help, you know. Well, it shows some color, but just in all seriousness, you know, you know you got these athletes like LeBron James, Michael Jordan, um, Chris Paul, these athletes on your roster, you know, supporting and endorsing your brand, but no
Mhm.
one's in the executive room, you know, and even as athletes, you know, not only champion wearing the sneakers, but also champion wearing the suit. You know, hey, you know,
Respect
if,
both
if I can wear
ends.
the sneakers and I can endorse the, you know, your company, then I should be able to sit in the boardroom and listen and be in on the decision making of where Nike brand is going, where, like you said, Nickelodeon brand is going, where Kellogg brand is going, PepsiCo, just started just name all the way down the line, Ford Motor Company, you know, put people of color in positions to be able to help you make those decisions, be able to help you with, you know, the insensitivity that goes on throughout, you know, your organizations, your businesses toward African Americans. And when I say, you know, the sensitivity, I mean, it's such a word because, you know, when you're not in tune and really not really understanding what we go through, you know,
Mhm.
I mean, it goes to back what you said. You know, it becomes not only a issue of respect, but then it becomes a mental issue. You know what I'm saying? When you have to be stressed out, you know, depressed, dealing with, you know, going to work and dealing with, you know, trying to be something that you're not, or trying to
Yeah.
act a certain way to please the white establishment. When you really just want to be yourself, you really want to just come to work and be
100%.
viewed and be respected for who you are. You know, so we got a long way to go, man. You know, I'm not being pessimistic, but I do want to see, you know, Black Matters. I mean, life, Black Lives Matter, not be the focal torch in front, but hiring practices. You know, that
Yeah.
be the main issue, and then you could say, you know, it matters because we have you know, people of color, you know, in the boardroom. We have people of color on the front lines. We have people of color helping us make these decisions. Because when they really want to come to our community to find out what's going to sell, and they'll go grab
You're
a
there.
token in a minute and say, hey, look, man, we want to get this product out there. Help, can you help us? And then, you know, they get the data, they get the information, they get the marketing plan, they get everything going,
Bye-bye.
they make the money, and then they say, hey, nice talking to you, appreciate you. And, you know,
Yeah.
and that person is out the door until, again, they need another helping hand. So those are the
Yeah.
things that needs to be done. Bring people in of color, you know, give them a position, you know, substantial, you know what I'm saying, in full force, and then allow them to bloom just like you do, with your other, employees. That's it, man.
Thank you, Vincent. V, I got last two questions for you, man. Here we
All
go.
right.
Question number one. What is your favorite place outside of America to travel that you've been to or would like to go to?
Man, two places really.
Hit me.
you know, uh, I had the privilege of, being in the UK. I think that's real cool.
Yeah.
Amsterdam, just the whole vibe of in the cannabis industry. You know,
Mhm.
that's that was rewarding. I definitely want to go back to Japan. And
Ooh.
engage. It's been years, since I've been there, but just even when I was there, it was just such a way of the culture embracing, us and just being able to move around and enjoy being who you are. So those are the two places that stick out. But hey, right here in the U.S., man, just hanging out in cities like New York,
Mhm.
L.A., Houston, hanging out with our people, man, and just enjoying the vibe and encouraging each other. So it don't always have to be overseas, man. If I want to vibe with our people, man. I really want to, have
Amen.
a good time, man, and we experience things without having to look over our shoulder, have to worry about, being attacked by whether it's police officers or our own community, so, just being able to enjoy each other, man, respect each other. That's what's important.
And Vincent, my last question. It's a munchies question. What is your favorite comfort food after consumption?
Man, probably, I'm gonna go on record to say popcorn. But yeah, popcorn, man. I like, the different flavors of popcorn. But
Yeah.
as far as I know that's not a food, but it's a snack more or less. But the food, man, I gotta say, a nice, uh, a nice steak, man, some macaroni and cheese, man. And
I'm
that's a little
calling up
bit further.
Al's. I'm calling
Yeah,
up Al's. That's what I'm doing.
you gotta cook. You gotta cook. You know what I'm saying? But I'll stop at a place, man, to sell some soul food, man, and get my portion, man, and get down. So that's pretty much it, man. Yeah.
Yo, Vincent, man, it's been great having you, man. It's been pleasure work talking with you, and I'm looking forward to us continuing to make changes in the cannabis industry, not only in
Definitely.
Chicago but statewide, nationwide.
Right.
Continue doing
Got
what
to get you
you're
back.
doing.
We got to get you back here, man.
Yeah,
We,
man, I
we
gotta
got
get back.
we got to
Time
get you
for me
back
to get.
to Chicago, and everything. So I appreciate the invite, man. I know we were trying to coordinate it and everything, but
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to the next one, man. Let's make this as routine as possible. Let's the platform is just like I said again, keeping the conversation going and encouraging people of color to have a voice.
Yeah,
Encouraging more celebrities to speak out, and I'm enjoying what's happening right now here in America. Because people are not afraid anymore. And that was the biggest thing. James Baldwin spoke of it. Is that in the past, when somebody of color spoke out, they made an example out of them, and
yep.
then that allowed everybody to kind of be like, well, I'm
Scared.
not gonna say nothing. So those days are over, man. People are not afraid. Like I said, I was telling Ben the other day on the radio show that I've been blackballed. So I understand what it is. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, in all respect. And as an entrepreneur, I'm gonna keep thriving. So if you shut me down over here, open the door. I'll open another door over there. So I've learned in the business, and I say this to people in general: find people that want to work with you. Find people, like-minded people, that want to vibe with you,
Yeah,
because that's how you grow.
that's how
If
you grow.
somebody is against what you're doing, if somebody is behind the scenes trying to sabotage what you're doing,
It ain't
get the
gonna
people
work.
out your camp. You know who they are. So find the people that embrace you. It might be somebody you just met 2 weeks ago. It might be somebody you had a long relationship with. But focus on that. Build your business, build your brand, and you'll succeed. That's it.
Thank you, Vincent. And once again, man, thank you for this interview. It was great. Let me ask, man, for anybody to learn more information about you, or to seek out knowledge about the Marijuana Hall of Fame, where can they find more information about you?
Well, they can follow me at my hashtag is up there at Vincent Norment, Instagram. I'm on Twitter. You Google Vincent Norment. I'm not hiding it from anybody. So this is who I am. You can also follow Marijuana Hall of Fame at MJ Hall of Fame. Also, I'm the chief marketing officer for Parkway Dispensary for BC Cannabis, and those names are just what they are: Parkway Dispensary for BC Cannabis. Google or follow them on Instagram. You'll be able to chime in on what we're doing on the dispensary side, and also just in general. I'm also launching a website. Probably in the next 10, 15 days. I'm kind of working it out. And so look for me at vincentnorment.com. Again, vincentnorment.com. And on that website, I'm really going to be working with starting companies, entrepreneurs, people of color, people with great ideas, try to help you develop that idea, try to help you get funding for that idea. So I'm looking forward to that new platform of just working with, entrepreneurs that's just starting out that need that information on how to grow their business and stuff like that. So again, we're here. We're here to help.
Stay successful, Vincent. Thank you, man.
All right, man. Appreciate it.